Welcome, everyone. It's my great pleasure to introduce Swami Shivarchanananda ji. He's coming for the first time. He's the assistant Swami at the Vedanta Society of St. Louis. And he served in some very nice places, Deyagad, Jairamati, and Udbodhan before he came here. He's been in this country for a couple of years. And he'll be staying with us until Thursday. So we're very happy, first time. We hope he'll keep coming. Today we did a little bit of sightseeing, got to see some of Washington, D.C. And we're very happy that he could come and spend a few days with us. The Swamiji will be speaking on the topic of the real treasure.
My pranams to revered Swami Atmagyanananda ji, Swami Bhaswatananda ji. So I am very happy to get that opportunity to stand before Maharaj and my pranams, namaskars to all of you who are present here. And some of you probably, especially this morning, some devotees told me they can sing through the live streaming also, that I do not know. Yeah. So my best wishes, pranams to all. So today, as you have heard, the topic of this discussion is the real treasure. So before I start, let me offer my pranam salutation to the Almighty. This portion, this verse, is taken from Shiva Bhujanga Prajata Stotram by Adi Shankaracharya. Twadanya Sharanyah Prapanyasya Neti Prasida Smaranyeva Hanyastu Dainyam Nachet Te Bhavet Bhakta Vatsalyahani Stato Me Dayalo Dayang Sannivehi. To the distressed, there is no other refuge but Thee, O Lord. Be propitious. Being remembered, Thou promptly removest the misery of the devotees, else Thou wilt lose Thy reputation of being gracious towards Thy devotees. Therefore, O Thou merciful Lord, have mercy on me. The title of the discussion is The Real Treasure. So I was listening to Maharaj. Maharaj already have told that this morning I had some sightseeing. So today now I'll talk a little bit of better insight seeing. And reality, the real treasure, that is the topic. Reality is an interesting thing. In traditional Vedanta, this says we dwell on different types of reality. Paramarthika Satya, that absolute reality. Vyavaharika Satya, that is impractical reality, what we are talking about, we are living on that reality. And another is pratibhasika or pratitika satya, that we experience in this so-called vyavaharika reality, practical reality, in our dream state. In dream state also we see some reality, we feel, we enjoy many experiences, elation, depression, all of these things sometimes we feel in our dream state also. So our reality or our treasure, it depends upon on which reality we are living now. So in different way, in our scriptures, our sages, they have tried to make us understand the reality of the reality. Sometimes showing some defects. Probably last 1 hour we are sitting for meditation, and we're trying to put our mind on our chosen deity or the real truth. If you remember, everyone, probably all of us, were trying one method. Sometimes when our minds were going towards external world, we are trying to remember that, oh my mind, what are you thinking about? After you think all those things, after spending a few minutes on that external objects, what you will get? And sometimes probably you are thinking about your last meditation that you enjoyed so nicely. So in our scriptures also, they have taken both the means showing defects of the objects, external objects, and glorifying the real treasure, the real joy, that eternal bliss you can get when you dive inside your heart. Madhusudana Saraswati, there are many verses. I want to share some of them from Bhagavad Gita, some very known verses, but discussions were very interesting. Some I will try to take from Bhagavatam, and if possible, if time permits, some from Upanishads also. First, let us start from Madhusudana Saraswati. He wrote a commentary on Bhagavad Gita. So that the sloka is Bhayas Parsheshu Asaktatma Vindyatyatmini Yat Sukham Sa Brahma Yoga Yuktatma Sukham Akshayam Asnute. He says that one whose mind is unattached to external objects gets in the internal organ that which is bliss. With his internal organ fixed in self-absorption in Brahman, he acquires undecaying bliss. So, that word is interesting, undecaying bliss. This morning, I went to see the magnificent some buildings. They were beautiful. I could not resist myself to take some photographs. It was so nice, the grandness of those buildings. But now I have returned here in the center. And all the evening I was confined in my room. Where are those monuments? Even the beautiful lunch that I had. So they say that this kind of sukha, this kind of joy cannot provide you undecaying bliss. At some point, when these external objects will be in contact with your senses. It is the starting point of the joy. But when your senses got separation from those external objects that once have provided you joy, you lose that bliss, that joy. In the discussion, he's saying, since the liking for external objects is very strong, owing to their having been experienced over many lives, how can a mind engrossed in them become established in Brahman, which is supermundane and devoid of all tangible pleasures? So I have returned as I was trying, many of them, just take it as example. So now and then my mind was running towards that what I have seen in this morning and what I have tasted during that lunch. So question, it was written, this commentary was written almost thousands years ago, or I think 600 years ago. So Madhusudana Saraswati also had same kind of doubt, question. So he told that when we are thinking about our innermost reality, the joy that you get inside, but time to time our mind it runs towards the external joy. So why it's happening? We are trying again and again, thinking inside, but our mind is going outside. Why it's happening? So you're saying that for several births, janmantara, lives after lives, we have enjoyed. Our mind got that taste going outside. Now, in one birth, it is not easy. So what to do? Showing some defects. If you show some kind of defects, oh my mind, if you think about your external joy, it will not give you some kind of eternity, immortality, that eternal joy. So, from probably you have known the story of Yajati in Mahabharata. Mahabharata, the story went like this, that Yajati, the king of the Bharata, that ancient India, he was ruling over the country for several years. For some reason, he was cursed by a sage, and that the curse was, you have to you can no more enjoy. You will lose your this youthful days. You will lose this youth, and the Jajati was afraid because his senses were strong. He wanted to enjoy this world, so he called all of his sons. Please, can you take my the aging? I am going to. I am now. I will this aging period. Can you accept from me? And I will. And there was some kind of option also, that if somebody takes your youth and takes your aging and give his or her youth, you can again enjoy that your kingdom. So he called all of his sons one by one, the eldest one, the middle one, and the youngest one. Nobody agreed to his proposal. Well, father, I am enjoying our youth, so we are not ready to to accept that old age. I want to enjoy. As you want to enjoy your youth, we also want to enjoy this youth. So at last, is that youngest one, Puru, he came and told, Father, I am ready to take your old age. So please take my youth and you enjoy as long as you want. So and thus Jajati taking that, getting that youthful age, so he enjoyed the kingdom for several years. At the end, he realized that these senses has a strange nature. If you put enjoyment, if you engage your senses in enjoyment, it will not get satisfaction. So he realized that just like in a fire, you put butter or ghee, it helps it to burn. So our senses is like that. There's a beautiful in the biographies of Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother. Apart from, they are the main figure of their biographies, Holy Mother or Sri Ramakrishna. But apart from this, their life, we get some characters, very interesting characters. From their life, we learn many things. I remember Swami Parameshwarananda ji, in his book, the Sri Ma and Jairam Bhatti, he was mentioning that in that old days of Kualpara, Parameshwarananda ji, there is a small village called Kualpara. It is not far from Jairam Bhatti. Holy Mother, when he used to visit Kolkata from Jairam Bhatti, she would stay there for some time. And it was a small ashram, a poor ashram, but in that ashram, some of the young, Kualpara has, from the Kualpara, it has gifted, that village has gifted a lot of great monks in our order. So one of them was Swami Ishanananda ji, Parameshwarananda ji himself, Ritananda ji, like that. So, so the story is is about a poor weaver called Krishna Dash. In those days, in Kualpara, there would be a night class like this. Morning, they would busy in different kind of works, ashram works, and in the evening, just like this, after Vesper service, there would be some reading from Gita, Bhagavata, or Yoga Vasishtha, Ramayana. So he mentioned among those devotees, old devotees, he mentioned about two gentlemen. One is Rakhal Chandra Mandal, who was the father of Baroda, later who became Ishanananda ji, and another was Krishna Dash. So Krishna Dash was a old Vaishnava, a weaver in profession, and the time he was talking about his in his family, he lost his wife. He had only one son, and the son was married, and I think two daughters that he had. So this Krishna Chandra Hesh was an interesting person. His routine was like that. In the morning, he would take an early shower, and he would sit near the Tulsi grove that he had planted, a Tulsi plant or a grove planted inside the house. House means there was a courtyard. In the courtyard. So in the morning, after having the bath, he would sit there and sometimes we call Tulsi Tala. That is the word. So old Vaishnavas and old this in village Bengal, I think all over the India, that was a thing. They consider Tulasi the holy basil, a holy plant. So he would sit there and would chant the holy name of God that with his rosary. So after spending a few hours, he would start his weaving job daily. So again, in the during lunch, midday, he would again get up from that weaving seat and again would sit and spend some time, a short while, in the Tulsi Dala, in front of the Tulsi grove. And again, after some taking a rest, having lunch, and after taking a rest, he would again start in the afternoon his weaving work. And when the evening comes, again sitting for meditation, chanting the holy name, all those things. After that, his regular sitting, again with the rosary in his hand, taking no light, no lantern with him, he would go different places. In those days, India had a beautiful. It was a different India. Especially, I'm talking about village, and village, but there was no light. But with the starry from the starlight, or maybe moonlight, whatever you can see, he would go from place to place where we have some kind of Chandi Mandapa. Chandi Mandapa is a different kind of places where the villagers would arrange some reading, this kind of reading. Again, from Bhagavata or Kirtana chanting, and atmosphere was like that. That whole atmosphere of the villages used to buzz with this holy chanting. That the playing the drum, the khola, and all those things. So Parameswarananda ji was very thorough in description. So Krishna Dash had, so without lantern, he would go from place to place. And when you go along the ridges of the cultivation field, so sometimes there you could find snakes, poisonous snakes here and there. So Krishna Das would stand there and allow the creature to pass and would say, "Go, my dear, go." So after he would again start his walking. And it is interesting, related to the same kind of thing. In village Bengal, that incident, this kind of incident also happens, if you, probably you may know. So even Parameshwar mentioned, one night he found one snake entered inside his mosquito net. You arrange, it's a mosquito. In India, a lot of mosquitoes are there. You need a mosquito net. So once it happened like that, one snake entered inside. But somehow he got up. He realized, Krishna realized that that creature, tiny creature, entered. So he found with a calm mind, that I wanted to say. That's why I'm mentioning that one. With calm mind, he would lift up. And he could find that the snake was trying again and again to climb up the wall of the mosquito net, but there's no way out. So he would lift one side of the mosquito net again. My dear, go. Again, after rearranging the net, he would sleep. So that was his mentality. But now the incident. One day it happened. By then, the incident took place. He was too old, almost end of his life. Okay, one thing I should say, though he was a Vaishnava means, you understand, he had taken a mantra of Radha and Krishna, but he had tremendous faith on Holy Mother. if you compare his age, he would, I think, quite elderly than Holy Mother. But he would think Holy Mother as his own mother. And in front of Holy Mother, he would become a child. And keeping his head in the holy feet of Holy Mother, many times he did his pranams. So he became very close with the ashrama. So one day it happened that he was busy one day in his chanting, that meditation and repeating the holy name. And he was not working at that moment in his in front of the machine, weaving machine. So he was repeating his, probably it was a evening. And one of that his only son, Ramachandra was his name. For few days he became bedridden with pneumonia. He was a young boy and newly married. So within a few days, the disease progressed and makes the patient's life critical. So he was busy in his chanting, repeating all those names. And when his daughters and daughter-in-law found that Ramchandra had difficulty even to breathe, and they realized it is the final moment has come. So they started calling, Father, please come. Our brother is not feeling well, so please come up soon. So Krishna Das replied in a low voice. When you do meditation, sometimes if you what to do, you keeping your voice low. Sometimes we talk with each other. He told that I am coming, my sweet child. Let me finish the remaining a little. You have sometimes you count on that. I am almost in the end. Let me finish that one. I am coming, my sweet child. So, but what happened? After a while, when Krishnadas got up, the son already passed away. So they accused him that his daughters, and it's natural. Say, Father, is your heart made of stone? We are calling, and brother died, and he didn't come once and see the end even. So he kept quiet. Then the father, poor father, came out from his house, little home, the thatched house, with a lantern in his hand, and called the neighbors and performed his son's funeral with a calm mind. In the next morning, everyone saw again, and he started the day as usual, taking an early shower, sitting in front of the Tulsi grove, repeating the mantra, and after a few days, probably a few months, he also became old. He kept some money for his final rites, and he passed away. Krishna Das. So, the striking event we see around us. When this morning, when I was discussing with the holy life of Holy Mother and others, this character unnoticed, they sometimes provide us a great teaching. So in that connection, I was thinking about a sloka from Bhagavad Gita. Anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajaswamam. Krishna said, therefore, the nature of this world is transient and miserable. So you are already inside. You are very much in this world. So what to do? Engage in devotion unto me. What will happen if you do this? What will happen? You will get one treasure. That I wanted to say a little bit of. I have told that some defects I will share some kind of defects, and I also try to show some kind of what you get if you do that. We have no options. In the Mahabharata, probably in Shanti Parva, it is saying that it has been said that Kama sukhang loke yaccha Divang Mahat Sukham Trishnakshaya Sukhashete Narhata Shoroshi Kalam. That happiness in the world which is derived from last and that which is the great heavenly happiness, these do not compare with 1/16th part of the happiness derived from the elimination of desire. When you get rid of the desire, the trishna, the thirst, you will get it a lot, the amount of joy it will get. So if you compare with worldly joy, so that worldly joy cannot be compared with the 1/16th part of the joy that you derive when you have no desire. And again, yehi, now the next verse, yehi sangsparshaya lohoga dukkha yonaya evate adyantavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. So, second point. First point was that that when you go inside, if you get that perennial source of joy, the joy you will get, nature is undecaying, never ending. But now second point is what? You have to give some reasoning. No? Why? So reason is, since those enjoyment that result from contact with objects are verily the sources of sorrow and have a beginning and an end. That is the problem. It has a beginning and an end. O son of Kunti, a wise one does not delight in them. Why it is like that? If you think deeply, it is raga dveshadi vyaptatvena. In that kind of sukha that you get from outside world, it is the beautiful word they used, deshanubuddha. Deshanubuddha. It is mixed with desha, hatred. How it goes that? Our Patanjali, he mentioned that the nature with that kind of joy, when you experience external joy, it is mixed with asakti, desha. The sloka goes like that: Parinama tapa samskara dukkhai gunavritti virodhacha. So what is that? To the discriminating one, all is surely painful on account of everything bringing pain, either as consequence, first thing, the joy you are experiencing now, first thing, it will bring sorrow in consequence. Number two, or as anticipation of loss of happiness, it is going to end. I cannot, many visitors nowadays, if you have some money, you can go to the space also. It's why you went there? Because you find, if I walk there in the space or spend some time in the space, I will get some joy. But unfortunately, you cannot stay there your whole life. A few days ago, I think some of the astronauts, they got struck for several months in the space. So they had to return. So thing is that happiness is as anticipation of loss. When you are enjoying something, you are thinking, I have to return. I think Bhuteshananda ji, probably Maharaj knows better. I heard on a senior monk, used to share some funny stories. One little boy was eating rasgulla, a sweet. For us, maybe we do not like, we are a little bit of health conscious, but not a little kid or toddler. So he was enjoying eating rasgulla, at the same time crying, weeping. So why you are weeping? Why you are crying? So he told, but size of the sweet is getting reduced. So this is called anticipation of loss. When you enjoy, you are thinking at the same time, in some portion in your mind, that now time is going to end. I have to return to my place, my holiday. I have to return St. Louis and have to start our regular job. So this is anticipation of loss. And the third one, as fresh craving arising from impressions. Suddenly you discover you are no more the boss of the enjoyment. No? When it is not in your hand, little subtle thing. Now why some beautiful thing they used, that krida chaturya, that asakti, that attachment, and your senses, they got some kind of cleverness. You already understood the nature of enjoyment, external enjoyment. First, so to explain, all experience, Madhusudan he is writing, all experience of joy without exception is indeed mixed with attachment. Number one, for it is not possible that one is not attached to something and still derives joy from it. Attachment itself, having emerged first, becomes transformed into joy through the acquisition of its object. First, you get that attachment. You started loving. You feel some kind of pull, attraction to something. So that pull, that attachment, it transforms into joy. So joy is there. When you accord that object. No? I am sitting here. I want something, maybe rasagulla or what to say? A Coke, maybe soft drink. Anything, I want that. So first the attraction. You see, I want to come in a... So where from that desire came? Last time when you tasted that one, that impression was in your head, or better to say, in the chitta, in your mind. The impression was there. The taste, suddenly you felt, maybe in your tongue or somewhere, you taste, and that desire came to buy. So still it is a desire from. But when you bought that can of Coke, you kept in your hand. Now it transformed into joy. It came to joy. So number 3, and that attachment increasing every moment. You are testing. So again that impression will stay with you. Next time it will provoke you. I want it again. So now you understand. So who is the master now? This moment? That impression, that attachment, or that here, the can, it became master. No, you are not no more a master. So Madhusudana says, so can I, or maybe Patanjali, he was taking this idea from Patanjali. So who is that? Impression became your master. So when you are not master, so when you are master, you gain you are the controller, you get the joy. But when you are slave, for a slave, it is a sorrowful life. So for that you need not any philosophy. A slavery means sorrow. Mastery means joy. So thus they say that it is in a disguise. That this sukha, the beautiful word they use, that sukha labha. Sukha labha. Mother also told, Holy Mother, that sukha means pleasure is merely a word. Sa ukha. Nothing. At pleasure, P-L-E-A, S-U-R-E. This is only word. So actually it is a sorrow in disguise. And important thing is that, and it is not possible to bring about dispassion into organs through repeated enjoyment. That is shared the story of Jajati. Because attachment and the cleverness of the organs increase greatly in accordance with the repeated enjoyment of objects. That we sometimes forget. Cleverness. You cannot stop. Stop. So you are thinking that it is like a static kind of feeling. No. the attachment and the senses, it became very lively. Because they are master now. They got the like lion when they get the taste of blood. They got the taste of enjoyment. So they become clever and clever and clever. So that's why that Jajati's story, he, at the end of that period, when he enjoyed for several years, again he realized something in his heart, and he called his son. Okay, my son, I have enjoyed the life, but I realized the nature of enjoyment. The attachment of passionate persons is never appeased through enjoyment. It increases all the more over again, like fire flaring up through clarified butter. That he realized. Now, little bit of defect we have discussed. It goes on, but let us discuss about some glorify what you get. We have shared a story of Krishna Dash. And can you remember the story of Kudam Chhatadhai? We sometimes, he became, Sri Ramakrishna life sometimes overshadowed his father's life. But forget about Sri Ramakrishna. Just think about Kudam Chhatadhai. So he was, you probably know, so I am just mentioning, but some of you may not know the life of Kudam Chhatadhai. So he was living in his ancestral village, ancestral place called Dedepur. He was a pious Brahmin and traditional kind of, in traditional sense. He was aparigrahi. That was the word Saradanandaji used. Aparigrahi means unnecessary. He would not take any gift from anybody. When you accept gift, probably you have noticed some kind of obligation, enters in your heart. You have taken somebody, a gift, or they gave some kind of scope. Okay, I will. You are not getting the ticket for Mexico or Europe. I have some connection. I can get it for you. Okay. So next time you will feel it will there. If you think like that, some sense of obligation. Next time, if he asks some help, we have to do. So you lose when you accept a gift. So some sense of obligation comes. But I am saying in general way, don't think it very literal way, because sometimes you have to give to your son or daughter. And your birthday, sometimes your son or daughter give. So I am not talking about this kind of thing. This is a pure expression of joy, love, affection, family bond. But in general, I am talking about. So he was that kind of person, aparigrahi. A pious person, always truthful, and the zamindar, the landlord of the village, he was a corrupted man, and there was a false lawsuit was going on in the village court, and in those days it was a different era, different world, and in those days sometimes they used to call the most truthful or honest person of the area. And when you have lack of evidence, so sometimes you would trust on that person when you have a lack of evidence. So as it was a false lawsuit, the landlord wanted to get some property from probably one of his subject. So he called that Khudiram. You can just say something in the court in favor of me. But he denied. I cannot do that. So he was revengeful, the landlord. So it's very normal what he did. So he told, you cannot live in my village. You have to leave this village. And within a short period of time, the whole family, they came to the streets. And just imagine, this is called dharana. Khudiram Chattopadhyay. So you see the family then. It was not only Khudiram Chattopadhyay. His young wife, His, I think, 2 sons probably by then, but because Sri Ramakrishna was born in Kamarpukur. We are talking now Derepur, that episode. Not only this, his family members, but many of his relatives used to depend on Khudidam's money. When you are alone, unmarried, you take some kind of adventurous decision. But it is not easy when you are a family man, not easy. And not only his own family, his distant relatives used to depend on Khudidam. So with that extended family, he came to the street. But you see that we started today, that our Pronam Mantra. Your name is your Bhakta Vatsal, Bhakta Vatsala. Oh Lord, that your name is Bhakta Vatsala, one of is your name. A surrendered soul, a Sharanagata, a Prapanna soul, a Sharanagata devotee, they depend, if they take refuge in thy name. So it is your duty, and you have done that. You took care of them. That is your glory. So in a strange way, one of his friends who used to live in Kamarpukur, another village, he invited Khudidam. My friend, please come here in my village. I will give you something. So he gave a little bit of land, a house, small house. It was a small house, and it started. So interesting thing is, he got something. Otherwise, you cannot take that adventure. Sometimes we give example of that some kind of worm when they walk in the field. Sometimes they release their when they get hold of some soil. Means what kind of thing? I forgot that and then the name. But unless you get something, you cannot release. So what he got? That answer, very interestingly, we got a sloka in Bhagavata. That it goes on like that. It is from 11 canto, 11 skandha. It says, akinchanasya dantasya shantasya samachetasah maya santushta manasaha sarvaha sukhamaya dishaha. It goes like, akinchanasya means one who has nothing or is free from material possession. Akinchana, nothing. Kinchana, akinchana, nothing. He has nothing. So, in this material sense, he has nothing. But in a real sense, we'll understand. Just like Krishna Dash, Hesh, a poor, illiterate, probably a weaver, had nothing. But somehow he get that calmness, unperturbedness in different stages of his life. Be when he was confronting a snake, or grief, that excruciating grief that he got, that when his only son died, he was unperturbed. So, but in material sense, he has akinchana, he has nothing material. Then dantasya. So probably you have heard shama and dama. That dama, danta word came from dama. You have complete control of your external senses. So dantyasya means jitendriyasya, who have a self-controlled body. Then shantasya. What is meaning of shanta? The word came from shama, shamadama, shama. So you're peaceful. When you are peaceful, nirjita antakaranasya, we have conquered that over the waves of your mind. What is that? Britannia rule the wave. What is that? So you have conquered the waves of your mind. Nirjita. It came from nirjita. nisheshe jita. Nishesha rupena jita. Jita means conquered. Nish means completely. So you have now, there is no wave. Shanta. Then samachetasya. So first one, we told no material possession, then self-controlled body, the controlled mind, then comes, when you have a controlled mind, samachetasaha. So raga, dveshadi, rahitasya. There is no raga, no attachment, no aversion. So what does it mean? So attachment means, in Patanjali says, so in this whole world, there is nobody or no some circumstances in your life can come that may disturb your mind. Okay, I am in a bad condition in my life, but it's okay. Let us accept my this situation. When you accept the situation, you get some clarity in your vision. Then you can take a good decision. If you are disturbed, some bad situation, so how you can a right decision? So you need a samacheta, a calm mind. Then where from he get? Now we have seen these incidents in the life of Krishna Dash and Kudam Chhatadhai. Ever you thought where from they got that strength? Just think, in a small oil lamp in the village of Derepur, maybe morning, evening, Khudiram Chattopadhyay used to sit for meditation, to repeating the mantra. Afterwards, you can see that Raghubir will take care. Raghubir is the name of Rama. Raghubir will take care. So he got something in that meditation when he was sitting in the small, that thatched house of Derepur. Or of course, in Kamarpukur afterwards. From there he got something. Got something. What is that? We'll discuss. So he got something, so he became Santushta Manasaha, being that have a contented mind. Is a mind, there only satisfaction resides. He got something. We'll come. We'll take a help of a little commentary. So when you got that, what will happen? Like a step, mathematical step, scientific step. You get that santushti, that calmness, satisfaction. In our lives, satisfaction is important. All those problems comes from satisfaction, whether you are satisfied or dissatisfied. So he get some satisfaction. Then what will happen? For him, sarva disha sukhamaya eva vartante. When you are satisfied, wherever you go, in whatever situation in your life, that everything sukhamaya, full of sukha, that undecaying sukha we told in the beginning from the Gita verse. So wherever you go, you see, if you go towards east, if you go towards west, if you go to everywhere, so apparently it is not full of sukha. The events, challenges may come. If you go, rain may fall outside, and you have no raincoat or umbrella. So if you, I have to return. I remember. If you go to the downtown and the metro card you forgot, so it is not for sukha. So events will provide you challenge, but in your heart, in your mind, whether there is sukha or dukha, but you okay, I will come. What to do? Now no lamenting. We'll again return to my house and take it. Or maybe we can use some bills, maybe, whatever, the ways. So for him, he will get Sarva Sukhamaya Disha. Now, Vishwanatha Chakravarti. So that part was not in the main verse. So Vishwanath Chakravarti, a saint, he wrote these lines. What he got, Khudiram Chattopadhyay, when he sat for meditation, when he was repeating the name of holy name, or the Krishna Dash says, what he got sitting in the Tulasi grove, that holy, what he got? He told, Maya dhyana praptena eva Alaukika Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha Leela Kripadi Maha Madhuryavata Santushtani Manaha Prabhriti Sarvendriyani Yasya Tasya. So when you sit for meditation, when you repeat the mantra, not like a mechanical device, but with love, when you pour love in your meditation, when you pour love in your japa repeating mantra, what do you mean? You will get maya. Here the Lord is saying maya. So that dhyana praptena, from that meditation, you will get alaukika shabda sparsha. So alaukic does not mean, don't think mystery mongering kind of thing. That is what is not laukika, that is alaukika. Laukika means, look, in this external world, what you have tasted through your senses. Alaukika means beyond senses you get. So, or laukika, beyond this world, something you get. Some that maybe, here is we are talking, quoting this one from Bhagavata, some kind, maybe the divine, that sound of the flute of Krishna. Maybe just saying, sparsha, divine touch of Krishna. Maybe the divine rupa, beautiful rupa, that form, that one. And gandha leela, maybe just let us come to Ramakrishna also. When you read Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, many of our young senior monks used to say, and the way, when you are reading, think, you are sitting in the room with Sri Ramakrishna in Dakshineshwar. Or maybe you are walking, beautiful description. One day, one description maybe. So Sri Ramakrishna saying one line, but from the one line you get many things. So he told, Captain, a devotee. Time is all. So a devotee, he was a orthodox, a traditional bhakta, devotee. So he was an officer in Nepal's king's court. But he was very humble at the same time. A scholarly person, had some power, what he got from that status. But at the same time, he was a great devotee. So he was telling, even when I used to go in the streets of Baranagar, Captain used to hold the umbrella. You see, an object of meditation you got. Now, you can go with Sri Ramakrishna and Captain in the streets of even of Baranagar also. If you do not feel, always I am sitting for the last half an hour in the Dakshineshwar room, so you can change. So whatever, this is called Leela. So that Leela, Kripadi Maha Madhuryavata. So when you think about God, what will you get? What will you get? Madhurya, sweetness. You will get sweetness. Something you got, two things are there, Aishwarya and Madhurya. Aishwarya, the devotees, or maybe real sense of gyanis, they do not like Aishwarya. Aishwarya means yogic power. This power, that power, that power. They never care for that. So they think about love. So this is called sweetness. Parameshananda ji told, I have seen from his experience, he wrote, that I have seen who have a good kind of meditation, in their personality, some kind of sweetness we see. From his experience, he told. So that sweetness will help you in your life. You can handle things sweetly. No, it's a great gift. No, you can handle tough situation in your business, in your office, in a rude way, but you have to handle same thing in a sweet way also. So that was, I wanted to say about real treasure. It is a great wealth. It is in Tulsidasa, he told something. It is not, if you have a lot of that Godhan, Bajidhan, he was telling about Santoshodhan, but anything. It's not about how much cattle you have, horse you have, or how much jewels is there in your storehouse. It's about Santoshodhan. So we talk about that Santosha, means satisfaction, that only comes only from that through your thinking on God. How much deep you have dived during your meditation. Sri Ramakrishna sang, "Dub dub dub, Rup Sagore Amar Mon." Oh my mind, dive deep in the ocean of your heart, and you will get that everlasting wealth. So let us conclude this discussion with to Pranam Mantra. अनेक जन्म संप्राप्त कर्म बंध विदाहिने आत्मज्ञान प्रदानेन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः संसारार्णव घोरे यः कर्णधार स्वरूपकः नमस्तु रामकृष्णाय तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. I bow down to the divine Guru who imparts to the disciple the fire of self-knowledge and burns away his bonds of karma accumulated through many births. He who is like the captain of a ferry boat to those sinking in the terrible ocean of samsara, to him Ramakrishna, the world teacher, my salutations. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Well, thank you, Maharaj. Exactly the message of Holy Mother. To know wealth equal to santosha, contentment. So a very beautiful message. Maharaj is so nice. We're so happy you've come here. We're always happy when we get to meet one of our brother monks. It's a great pleasure for us. We have a special bond, of course. So it's very nice. Maharaj will be here for a couple of days. If you like to meet with him, you can come tomorrow night and the next night. And Wednesday morning, he'll take the class, the 11 o'clock Zoom class. So there'll be another chance to meet with him then. So now please join us for some refreshments in the basement.